It's long enough to kind of look back over the seasons of our marriage, and recognize that there are, that times come and go, that there are bad weeks and there are good weeks, and there are bad months and there are good months, and there are sometimes bad years and then good years. And I know it can feel, I look back on some of those times where it felt like the thundercloud kind of just came and hovered over our house and nobody else's, and it was just kind of raining inside, and it felt like it was never going to leave. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. And the thing is, like, weathering those storms, coming out on the other side, is this beautiful, beautiful thing. And I know that it's not easy. I know that for Jamie and I, when we first got married, people would say, "Oh, now, the first year is going to be the hardest adjustment." And our first year was a total breeze. Like, we just had a great time, and it wasn't until year 7 that things got really hard. And hard enough to where, you start having these fleeting thoughts that you never thought you would have, like, I don't know if I signed up for this. Is this what I signed up for? And the answer to that question, of course, is yes. It's exactly what you signed up for. That's why you make a promise at the beginning, right? And I'm not suggesting that it's easy. That it's quite the opposite, that it's a lot harder than I ever thought it would be. And yet I truly believe that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. That nothing worth doing is going to be easy, and marriage is definitely worth doing. And so it made me think of Andrew Osenga, who's been here before, and I guess is coming back, I think. And he told me last year that he was at this beautiful wedding. It was one of the most beautiful weddings he'd ever been to, and part of the reason for it was that he said it in the vow part of the ceremony, the bride and the groom stood in front of this room full of people, room full of witnesses, and instead of saying the whole, in sickness and in health, till death do us part, the kind of flowery version of the vows, which we've all heard so many times we don't even remember what they mean anymore. They boiled it all down, and they looked each other in the eye, and they said, "I promise to never divorce you." And man, that's kind of makes you a little uncomfortable. And but that's what you're saying. That's the thing. That's the point of the entire covenant that you're making with this other person, is to promise to never divorce them. And I realize that there are people in here who are divorced. I realize that every situation is profoundly complex. It's not simple ever when it involves people. But I know for Jamie and I that I'm so thankful for those seasons that we decided to just stick it out, wait it out. And sure enough, you realize that it does develop perseverance and character and hope. And so I decided on our 15th anniversary this past year to take her to the very nicest restaurant I could think of. And so we were sitting there eating our bloomin' onion. And had this great, wonderful anniversary. And then like 3 days later, we got in a big fight. And I don't remember what the fight was about, but it was an argument that was bad enough to where she went to bed and she was crying, and I couldn't sleep, so I came downstairs and I decided to write this song about how wrong she was. But seriously, this is a song about our marriage that was written as a makeup song, which turned out into a make-out song. Whoa! Ooh, baby! Okay, so here you go. I was 19, you were 21, the year we got engaged, and everyone said we were much too young, but we did it anyway. We got the rings for 40 each from a pawn shop down the road, and we said our vows and took the leap now 15 years ago. We went dancing in the minefields, we went sailing in the storms. It was harder than we dreamed, but I believe that's what the promise is for. All I do are the two most famous last words, the beginning of the end. But to lose your life for another, I've heard, is a good place to begin. 'Cause the only way to find your life is to lay your own life down. And I believe it's an easy price for the life that we
dancing in the minefields. Don't give up on. We're sailing in the storm. Don't give up on. This is harder than we dreamed, but I believe that's what the promise is for. That's what the promise is for. So when I lose my way, find me, and when I lose love's chains, bind me at the end of all my faith, till the end of all my days. When I forget my name, remind me, 'cause we bear the light of the Son of Man, so there's nothing left to fear. So I'll walk with you in the shadowlands till the shadows disappear. 'Cause he promised not to leave us, and his promises are true. So in the face of all this chaos, baby, I can dance with you.